Alright, it's your boy Jay, back in the house. I meant to do this video much sooner, but I just got tied up in a whole bunch of, shit. But I'm giving my, I just want to give my 2 cents or my own take on this Adonis Stevenson versus Fonfara fight. It's just funny to me, man, how I've been watching all these videos and people are saying that Adonis Stevenson got exposed. Like, first off, let me just say this, because anybody could have a bad day in the office, okay? Anybody. Doesn't matter if you're undefeated. It doesn't matter if you're a champion. It doesn't matter if you're on this, like, super high winning streak. I mean, anything in that ring can happen at any given time. Alright? Just like in UFC 173. There was a guy by the name of Renan Barraro. He was one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. I think he was like top 3 or top 4 or somewhere around there. The dude hadn't lost a fight since his pro debut fight in 2005. Okay? He got dominated by a huge underdog. Okay? I mean, shit like that just goes to show you anybody can have a bad day in the office. I mean, shit happens, okay? I didn't know much about this Fonfara cat. Okay, I maybe seen him fight like one time. I think I saw him fight against Campillo, like back in the day. I didn't really think much of him, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know enough of him to make an assessment of the dude. Okay? But from what I saw, he's a tough guy. He'll give anybody at light heavyweight a very tough fight. Okay? But the fact of the matter is that even though Adonis Stevenson got knocked down or whatever, the dude came back up and fought through adversity. Okay? At the end of the day, Adonis Stevenson is not a perfect fighter. He's not a flawless fighter. Nor is Sergey Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, even Cedric Agnew was giving him some issues early in that fight. Okay? To me, that is still pretty much close to a damn near 50-50 fight. And if they were to fight, I would still give the edge to Stevenson. Okay? The one thing I will say about Kovalev, though, is, The Wire said this, and I totally agree 100%. Kovalev's ability to set up his punches and time his punches is very underrated. When you combine that with the ability of how hard the dude hits, the strength of his power, it's a very dangerous combination. I totally agree 100% that his ability to time his punches combined with his power, that's a no-joke combination. Alright? But, I mean, still at times, you can see that he can't fight that very well on the back foot. Okay? He doesn't move his head enough at times. But, I mean, little shit like that all gets made up for because the dude hits very, very hard. Okay? Stevenson, I'll have to give the edge of Stevenson because he's fought much better competition, and he's a little bit more mobile on his feet. I think if he could dance circles around Kovalev, I would still have to give the edge to him. But I'm not saying that I give Kovalev a chance in that fight. Because Kovalev, if he could neutralize Stevenson's left hand early, then that would give him problems later on in the fight. Because that's Stevenson's biggest, weapon is that left hand. So if you could take that left hand away from him, then it's going to be a difficult night for Stevenson. That's why I'm saying it's pretty much damn near close to a 50-50 fight. But anyways, yeah, going back to this Fonfara-Stevenson fight, it's just funny to me, man, how people are saying that Stevenson got exposed. It's just so funny, man, because there's been numerous times in boxing where a fighter got knocked down or whatever, and clawed his way back up to victory. I mean, none of these guys are perfect though. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're gonna run through issues. They're gonna run through problems. Even sometimes when they fight like tomato cans. You know what I'm saying? Fonfara did give Stevenson some problems. Doesn't mean that he's a shit fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's some things on that Stevenson has to work on in his training camp. Before his next fight, him and his team are gonna have to sit down and they're gonna have to, watch the tape and just work on some shit. And you can clearly tell that in the later rounds of this fight, Stevenson was throwing a lot of shots and it was making him really tired. Okay? It's just something that he has to work on. He's got to work on his stamina and he's got to work on his accuracy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call the dude exposed because of that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, in his next fight, if he can improve from these issues, and to me, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Like, a prime example is when Timothy Bradley fought Ruslan Provodnikov. The dude hadn't been in the ring in over 10 months or some shit. Goes in the ring with this Russian cat. Nobody expected that to be a fight of the year. Okay? Timothy Bradley literally went through the flames of hell and came back out. I mean, to do what he did was unheard of because, first off, Ruslan beat him up worse than Pacquiao did. And the proof was in the pudding because if you go back to the first Pacquiao fight, Bradley's face was still clean as a whistle. Okay? I mean, he fucking gave the dude a fucking concussion, had slurred speech, and on top of that, Timothy Bradley beat up Ruslan way worse than he did Pacquiao in the first fight. I mean, Freddie Roach was even talking about stopping the fight because Ruslan was too bloody. I mean, Freddie Roach was even getting frustrated with Provodnikov. I mean, that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? That Timothy Bradley went through hell and back. He overcame adversity in that fight, and he came out on top. You know what I'm saying? The dude went down, I don't even remember how many fucking times that fight he went down. Dude took knees and shit. End of the day, he came back and won the fight. No different than when Erislandy Lara fought Angulo. Angulo got knocked down for the first time in his career, not once but twice in that fight. Came back, hit Angulo with some shit nobody saw coming. Angulo quit on the stool. Couldn't even continue. People, it's not about being exposed. It's how you get up after being knocked down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still think that Adonis Stevenson is a good fighter. Okay? I mean, you actually rarely see boxers nowadays did what he did last year. Fighting 4 times a year, knocking every single motherfucker out. You barely see that shit nowadays. I mean, shit, you even lucky to see if the motherfucker could fight even 2 times a year. It's crazy, man. The minute a motherfucker gets knocked down in the fight, all of a sudden they just forgot their accomplishments. Like, people are expecting Keith Thurman and Sean Porter to stay undefeated. Of course they're not going to stay undefeated, man. I mean, they're going to lose eventually. You know what I'm saying? Shit, if they keep winning, shit, good for them. Those guys ain't really perfect either. But the point I'm trying to say is, man, anybody can have a bad day at the office. It just happens. And it's going to continue to happen. But I don't think necessarily... I mean, if you guys say that he got exposed, that's your opinion. I'm not going to delegate that. But The dude went in there with this guy, and he just had a bad day at the office. He just has shit to improve on, and it's going to take time for him to go to with his training camp and just improve on some shit. You know, I mean, there's been countless other numerous fights. I could like literally write a novel about fighters, going through it, going through adversity. Muhammad Ali was a prime example of this. He went through adversity numerous times. But the minute he got knocked out by Leon Spinks, people were shitting on him. But they failed to remember his accomplishments and what he did before that. You know what I'm saying? What he actually went through in his career already. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny to me, man, that people are saying he's got exposed, this and that. I mean, the dude got back up and fought his way back and won. Like, that shit is not easy, man. For, like, real talk right there. That shit is not easy. Okay, you could call the dude a tomato can, whatever. It's like the same thing with Deontay Wilder. I guarantee you, the minute that he goes past the fourth round without getting a knockout, or he loses to some so-called bum, they're gonna shit on him. But they're gonna fail to mention that this dude knocked out all of his previous opponents within 4 rounds or less. You could say that the dude fought bums or whatever. He fought tomato. He hadn't fought nobody. You know how fucking hard that is. I don't even put on a pair of boxing gloves for a living. But I can tell you right now, that shit is hard as hell to knock out 31 grown ass men who has. People know the power of the heavyweight division. Yes, I mean, one punch in boxing can change anything. But that shit is multiplied by like times 10 in the heavyweight division. And that's fucking hard as hell to knock out 31 grown men in under 4 rounds or less. I don't care if they're all bums or not. These motherfuckers are heavyweights. But anyways, that's just my little, 2 cents on it. I don't think he got exposed. He just needs to go to his training camp and just improve. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what it's all about. If you continuing to improve in all your fights and learn, that's what it's all about. To me, that's even sometimes more important. To me, if you are improving in all of your fights, okay, to me that's more important than winning sometimes, even if you lost. Let's just say Keith Thurman goes up in there and Floyd Mayweather beats him by like, a really close decision. But it was an extremely close fight, then I would have to commend Keith Thurman, even though he lost. Because even though he had a close fight, but, Keith Thurman would lose, and people would shit on him now because he has a loss, but they fail to realize that he had a really close fight with Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? So, end of the day, man, it's just crazy to me when people say that Adonis Stevenson got exposed, this and that. It's just funny to me, man. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents on it.